Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Cynthia with Very Cherry Cakes, and today I thought I would share with you how I started my cake business. Okay you guys, so I had to go put on my glasses, but I hope it doesn't bother you. I'm gonna try not to move so much so that the glare doesn't get in the way. But my interest in baking actually started when I was a kid, so I think I was around 10 to 12 years old, and I used to always love to make the box cake because that's all I knew how to make. And I remember being in first grade and I used to tell my mom hey, I want to invite a lot of friends over, but I'm gonna call their house and can you talk to their moms and convince them that it's my birthday or that I'm celebrating something so they can come over. So my mom actually used to be complicit and help me out by talking to their moms. So I used to have gatherings at my house every single week with cake, and I remember we used to decorate the cakes with M&Ms around the border, and then my mom used to buy the plastic Disney princesses, and we would just plaster them on the middle of the cake, and we thought we were super professional cake decorators. And then moving on to more of an adult interest in baking, I remember that I used to see cakes on TV and in magazines because we didn't have internet at home. So I used to see a lot of cakes on magazines, and I used to always volunteer, and I was the official cake lady of the family, and I was I want to do it, I want to do it. So I remember the first cake that I made it from scratch. And I also wanted to make the fondant from scratch, which was a huge mistake because I didn't even research it. I just looked for a recipe, I followed it, and it was a disaster. I remember being in the kitchen and my hands were literally tied up into this sugar marshmallow mixture, and I had the worst time putting it together. But this is how my cake turned out. I think it turned out pretty good. So it was a Superman themed. And I literally just put it on top of a fruit tray. That was my display, and I thought it was amazing and super professional, and I was yes, I'm gonna be the next famous person on TV making cakes. That's what I thought back then. And I also used to make cakes for family and friends, or I remember one of the cakes that I also made was the cake for my graduation. And this is the cake. I didn't know anything about doweling. I didn't know anything about supporting the cake. I bought, I think it's Wilton fondant, and I colored it myself because I couldn't afford to buy different colors. And I also hand cut every single letter. I printed that printout of the letters at school, and I cut each of them with scissors, and then I placed my fondant. I placed the letters on top, and I cut each one of them by hand. I was so proud, but then through the middle of the party, my dad was I think your cake is kind of caving in, so maybe we should put in a wooden board. So my dad actually made a wooden board because I didn't know that you could buy some at cake stores or cake supply stores. I didn't know anything about that. I literally just got those materials at HEB or Walmart. I put the cake together, and to me it was the most amazing cake in the world. So fast forward to when we moved to Midland, Texas, I still kept making cakes for friends and for family, mostly for family. Here's another cake that I made in Midland. It was a Minnie Mouse cake. I thought it was the best Pinterest worthy cake, and I think I actually have it up on Pinterest. I'm not quite sure, but if you see it on Pinterest or anywhere on the internet, show it some love. But that was I was super proud of that cake. I stayed up all night. It was a Friday. I think I went to bed at 1 in the morning, and I was super proud. I remember I took that cake to my cousin's party, and it was for her little girl, and there was a bunch of her friends there, and my cousin's friends were oh, do you have a card for your business, or do you sell cakes? Are you taking any orders? What's up? And I was no, I don't sell this. This isn't a business. This is literally just for friends and family. And I left it like that. And then as time passed by, I started getting addicted to watching YouTube videos because at the time, YouTube was still, it was already well known, and a lot of cake people were popping up on the YouTube doing tutorials and all that stuff. And I remember on the weekends, because I used to work at a doctor's office during the week, but on the weekends I used to just sit there and watch tutorials over and over, like how to make a drip cake, how to make a rosette cake. And while I'm cleaning, I'm watching these tutorials and I would say, oh, I can do that. I can do that. So I would practice at home and give away the stuff to my neighbors or to my friends. And then I finally got the courage from my husband, because he used to say, why don't you just like order business cards and try it out while you're working, like kind of like as a side business. And so what I did is I ordered business cards, and on NFL Sunday weekend, or what is it called, like Super Bowl weekend, which was like February 1st back in 2016, I think, the night before, my cards had arrived and I had ordered like 200 boxes of like little cupcake boxes. I ordered a stamp and I ordered like an ink pad, and the stamp said anything can fix it, or a cupcake can fix it, or something like that, like something cupcake related. And that night I baked 200 cupcakes. Here's a photo of the cupcakes. They were like tiny little cupcakes. I baked 200 cupcakes, and I drafted this like announcement for the community page, because where we live, the community had like a little Facebook page. So I drafted a thing that said, hey guys, tomorrow I'm gonna be sitting outside in my garage with 200 cupcakes, so you can come have free cupcakes. So my husband helps me set up. He puts out like this long table, and he helps me arrange the 200 boxes of tiny cupcakes. Mind you, the night before he helped me stamp each one of them, and they're boxes from BRP, so you have to like put them together. So he helped me put them together, and then he helped me set it up, and he brought some stools. He took out a TV and set it up like right there in the garage. And I remember the event was from like, I think 3 to 7:30 or something like that. So the first hour passed by and nobody had showed up. Like, it showed that people had seen my post on the neighborhood page, like 4 people had seen it, but nobody liked it or nobody commented. And then it was like 3:30, it was 4, and finally my neighbor comes walking over with another one of our neighbors, and she's like, oh, I'm gonna take like 1 or 2. And I was like, no girl, take as many as you want. She's like, no, I'm just gonna take 1 or 2. So I think in the end they ended up taking like 2 or 3 cupcakes, and they took like one of my business cards. And then it was like 4:30 or 4:45. Then it was 5 o'clock, and another one of my neighbors rolls up in her car, and she's like, oh, can I have like 6 cupcakes? And I was like, yeah, take as many as you want, because it's like, in my head I'm thinking like it's literally 5:30 and you're the second or the third person to come, so take as many as you need. So I remember it was like 5:30, she left, and I was ready to give up. I literally told my husband, I was like, it's 5:30. We have like more than half of the cupcakes, even more than I don't know, like 3/4 of the cupcakes left. Like literally only 6 or 7 cupcakes were gone. And I was like, I'm ready to just like pack up and like, let's move inside. And I don't know what I'm gonna do with these cupcakes, but I'm tired. I don't want to be out here anymore. And he literally looked at me and he said, no, you are not gonna quit. You and me are gonna sit here until 7:30, whether anyone else comes or not. So we sat there until 7:30 watching the game. Nobody else came, just 3 of my neighbors came. And I was left with like all these cupcakes. So I think I cried a little bit, and I was like super sad because I had all my business cards left. And I told my husband, I was like, I don't know what to do with these cupcakes anymore. So I don't know if I should just throw them away, eat them, like what do I do? These were for people like as advertising, and nobody wants them. Nobody wants my business. That's what I was thinking. So what I did is, if you remember in the beginning, that Minnie Mouse cake that I took to my cousin's house. She was actually over at a friend's house, and I texted her. I was like, hey, we have like tons of cupcakes. Do you guys want any? She's like, yeah, we're at so-and-so's house. If you want to come over, bring them, and y'all can stay, watch the game, and you know, whatever. So we went over with the cupcakes, and I took some of my business cards because even though I was sad, I was not ready to give up yet. And I took a few of my business cards and I set out the cupcakes, and I'm like, hey guys, I made these cupcakes just because I didn't tell anybody that I was advertising with these cupcakes. I was like, I made these cupcakes to practice. And then one of the girls was like, oh my God, this is so good. My daughter's birthday is in December. Are you available to make a cake? And in my head, I was like, it's February and I don't even take orders. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to say. So I told her, I was like, oh, I don't know, because I'm not taking any orders yet. Like, this is literally just for friends and for family. And she's like, well, why do you have your business cards then? And I was like, in my head, I was like, oh, like, you know, she literally like found me out, because I was trying to find a way out of it. Even though I was trying to get business, once I got the business, I was trying to find a way out of it. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's actually what happened. So I took down her information and I told her, I was like, call me when the date gets sooner, like when the time comes closer to when you want to place your order. So we left it at that. And then a few weeks later, I get a call from that last neighbor that came, that took a few of my cards. And she was like, hey, my son's birthday is in a few weeks. And I want to place an order. And I actually have a YouTube video. I recorded that order because I was like, oh, I'm a big YouTuber now. Like, I'm gonna YouTube everything, and like record it and put it out for my channel. And there's the link to the video. Here's the cake that I made. It was a Power Rangers cake. And I made the order, and then she had a party. And at that party, friends asked like, oh, who made the cake? It's so pretty. And you know, like, so it started with this like in summary, it started with a thing that I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm good at it, because I just want to do it as a hobby. And with this huge plan of like having 200 people at my free event outside my house, and like 3 people came, but that one lady that came in the end is the lady that started off my business. Literally, like after that, I remember like the first year wasn't super stable, but like I got her order, then like 2 months later I got another order, and a few months later I got another order. But that's literally, in a nutshell, that's how my business started. To the point where I started getting so busy that I ended up quitting my day job to do cakes as a business forever, because now that's what I do. So what I want you to take away from this video is that although it was very hard in the beginning to find the confidence within myself to start and to continue this business, it is possible. I did have a lot of ups and downs, and I cried a lot. I dropped a few cakes. I lost a few clients. I've had people tell me that my cake is dry before, but despite that, I never let it get to a point where I said, somebody said my cake was dry and I'm just gonna quit. And I almost did. When that one person told me that my cake was dry, I almost quit. But I want to thank that person. If you are watching, thank you for telling me that my cake was dry, because otherwise I would have gone on till now not knowing that my vanilla cake was dry, girl. So sorry, I like literally got too emotional and almost dropped something down here. But take the feedback as it comes. Don't give up too quick. Like, don't put up your table and don't put away your 200 cupcakes, because girl, maybe that one person that's gonna help you spread your business is gonna come in the next 5-10 minutes, next month, next year. That one client that's gonna help you take off in your business. So just keep working towards it, keep moving forward. If you want to know any other details about the story, let me know in the comments below. For my next video, I do kind of want to share with you a few tips on how to create a successful cake business as a side business. So let me know if you're interested in that. Let me know your thoughts, your questions. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe before you go, and I'll see you very, very soon. Bye.